Hello, I'm Joann Taff, Editor-in-Chief of Inform, and I'm here with Joann O'Brien, who heads up the Beyond Connectivity Initiative at TM Forum. Hi, Joann, it's good to catch up with you.
Hi, lovely to meet you again, Joann. Yeah.
So you've had a busy year, and I know one of the things you've been involved in very recently was the API Spec Jam at the Vodafone headquarters, if I understand correctly. And I was just wondering if you could tell us a bit about that. I understand there was a good turnout of telcos and vendors. So perhaps to begin, you could tell us, what is the API Spec Jam, and when did it start, and what are you all trying to do?
The Spec Jam it's really a vehicle where you bring together developers who are working on specific APIs and looking to progress them very rapidly. It's generally organized under a few key themes. So certain things that as an industry and as a community we're trying to drive forward. In this instance, the team they were progressing the migration to V5 Open APIs, and there was a big emphasis on that. I was there in the capacity of Beyond Connectivity, so I was focused on zero-touch partnering and connectivity as a service, working with people physically there, but also remote. We had about another 11 people remote for the event because they were based in Asia or West Coast US, etc. So we were managing all the different time zones in effect, really, because we had the mixture of physical, virtual, all time zones. It really was a 24-hour spec jam to rapidly progress a whole series of very important APIs. I know the V5 team made a huge amount of progress during the week. There was also a team looking at the reference architecture patterns for open APIs. There was people who arrived specifically to progress and approve and get contributed a very specific API. So people have their own agendas, or they're part of a team with a very specific agenda. And our focus was ZTP because it is a very complex but very large body of work. We had done a lot of work offline, but really we needed to get the team together at the Spec Jam to go deep and work through all of the different aspects of each of the APIs and really resolve that and progress it.
As you said, zero-touch partnering is very complex and it covers a lot of different things. But could you maybe was there any sort of particular achievement at the Jam itself during the workshop?
I know the V5 team were very happy with their progress and the volume of APIs that they managed to migrate to V5. I heard very good feedback on the new V5 environment for developers. That it is much more intuitive. Really liked that. The developer experience for that was for the cloud spaces was very well received. And in our own case, the ZTP, the work that we did at the Spec Jam, is allowing us now to create the V1 ZTP API suite. So that'll operate as a full suite and be published in the new year, but we're actually building it today based on all the work that we got done at the Spec Jam. So that's a massive step forward for us.
What does that mean in practical terms for developers to have this full suite? What will it allow them to do?
It'll allow them to manage the multi-party partnering relationships more effectively. So things like onboarding, partner onboarding, and multi-party onboarding. These are the kinds of capabilities. Also, many of the changes we had to make to the APIs was around the entities, to changing the data constructs to allow for multi-party partnering. So it's getting that capability into all of the APIs so that they will work effectively together in that context as well.
And how easy will this be for operators to use or to sort of integrate into their existing systems once it's available?
I guess we're always designing to ensure that people can reuse. So reuse is at the core of it. So we have reused as much as possible the existing APIs of TM Forum. So the gap isn't enormous. So I think it will be very effective to allow them to move from where they are to application of this. We will continue our work. We've more to do in order to build out the revenue share models and things like that. And we'll also be doing additional types of packaging to show them how to use it for different contexts. So we have more to do, but the base material now will exist from today.
So you started with partnering. Why did you begin there?
Well, the 3 pillars of Beyond Connectivity have been partnering, zero-touch partnering, connectivity as a service, and marketplaces. Marketplaces and partnering are very highly coupled. Partnering enables marketplaces, if you will. Connectivity as a service, we also did progress that work there as well.
And what what did you achieve in connectivity as a service?
For connectivity as a service, we're really getting the team together to finalize the API profile, the definition of the entities, the flows, getting the flows right. So we progressed the flows, making sure that they were not only agreed by the connectivity as a service team, but also with other teams. So getting that external validation was also incredibly useful. So yeah, the connectivity as a service API profile was significantly advanced based on the work and the mentorship that the team were able to get at the event.
And as you look forward to 2023, what are you hoping to do next year?
My big thing for next year is about, I felt 2022 was very much about building critical foundations. And for 2023, I want to really show how we bring all these and make them work together end to end. So how you draw a line from that C-level decision making through, for example, your digital maturity models, your business architecture capability maps into your key solutions. So by being able to draw a line across these, we will accelerate and de-risk digital transformation for growth and really put a rocket behind the diversification, because the enablers are there, but we need to show how they can happen end to end. And that's really about acceleration and de-risking for 2023.
We've already got a great lineup of CSPs and vendors involved. I mean, if people want to join you, is that possible? And how do they go about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always welcoming new participants. Just contact me or the project managers relation to our team. We're delighted to onboard people into the project. So we have a continuous onboarding activity. There's no problem there. And we also have a very strong relationship with the Catalyst project. So looking to leverage the Catalyst to identify critical gaps that we may have or validation points and get that synergy moving more effectively. We did that very, very well in 2022. So we want to maintain that and scale it.
Okay, brilliant. All right, great. Well, thanks very much for your time, Joann. That's great to hear about all of that. And we'll look forward to catching up again in 2023.
Thank you, John. Yeah, take care.
You too.